Welcome to Beer and Business. It is a free networking happy hour sponsored by Workspace, which is where we are currently. For those who don't know, Workspace is owned by the town of Manchester. It is a co-working and meeting space. It's 2.5 floors. We have 47 professionals working within 27 companies. Some have offices here, some have desks here, and some just come and share our collaborative co-working space, bring their laptops, set up wherever there's space around our co-working commons, which is on the 2nd floor. This is Manchester's effort to support entrepreneurs and artists who are also entrepreneurs. You're sitting in the Den Art Gallery right now, an exhibit which was just put up yesterday and will have its opening tomorrow night. Consists of photography from 7 photographers, all graduated Manchester Community College. So we like to be a real partner with businesses in Manchester. Our mission, our motto is we're a place to meet, a place to learn, a place to create, and a place to work. And tonight we're meeting here with another community partner for the evening, Second Bridge Brewing Company, and this is Stephen White, who's going to tell us a little bit about the brewing company, how long it's been around, and how he got into the beer business.
Thank you. For us, well, for me, let me start back a little bit. So I started brewing about 6 years ago, and I think after it was about 3.5 years, 3 years in, that I was like, okay, this is a lot of work, like when I was brewing, you know. But I was always a builder, remodeler, maintenance guy for 28 years prior to this. So I didn't mind working, but I'm like, yeah, but this is a lot of work, you know, to do a brew day, you know. So I decided in January of 2016, I told my wife, well, that's it, I'm gonna open a brewery. And she's like, oh my God, what are we talking about here? And then, you know, from there, it just, the birth of it began, and I'm no stranger to being an entrepreneur. I mean, I ran my own company for 15 years before landing one job or another before this. So, to me, it was like, let's go for it and see what happens, you know. And Manchester really is a great town that's just missing a little bit of environment that I think we're beginning to see now, which Main Street's starting to pick up again. Mm-hmm. And now with 3 breweries and possibly a 4th, so not to be named.
Excellent. So you've mentioned multiple qualities important in an entrepreneur. So the first is the passion, the desire to do what you're doing, and then the desire to turn it from a hobby or a side business into a full-time moneymaker. So you have to have that drive and ambition that supports the passion, and then you have to have a support system, in your case the wife, and I'm assuming there's other people who helped transform it.
We're completely a family operated business at the present moment. I want to grow, but for
grow
now,
the family?
No. We have my oldest, Jasmine, is 23, and my son is 19, and our youngest is 9. So we're cool with the family we created. But no, I come from a very large family, so there's about 100 of us on my mom's side. So there's been a lot of help via family in London.
And besides family and the support of your wife and the strategic plan that you needed to have to open a business, what about the financial aspect? Where does that come from, and how do you get someone else who has money to believe in your plan and your passion?
That's a big challenge in itself. For me, because I've always been a do-it-myself type person, we really built our brewery at a low dollar amount. Because we're so small. We are a nano system. We're just a 1 barrel to start. So it's a lot of work that has to go into it, but all the bells and whistles are not there yet. But I'm a firm believer in bells and whistles don't always make, you know, the end goal perfect.
So taking time and building a strong foundation. Here at Workspace, which again is owned and operated by the town of Manchester as an effort to support small businesses and entrepreneurs, and our goal is to offer them space to work and meet until they outgrow us. Their bells and whistles are too loud for our little humble Main Street storefront. But you really do need to have a plan and a growth strategy. And in-house, we actually house the Small Business Development Center of Connecticut, and if anybody's interested, they offer free coaching, business planning, growth wheel strategies. And one of the reasons small businesses fail isn't because they're bad or they fail, it's because they're too good and they grow too fast, and then they can't keep up the reputation. So I think it's great that you're building the strong foundation. What are you doing to get your name out there?
So another hard part about this world of breweries is for us, again, being such a small system, we really cared about environment. This was really important to us. So our main objective was to make the best beer that we can, and B, really give an environment, a different place that made people feel comfortable when they came in. I kind of like a homey feel, but I like that we're in this old building. You walk down into it, so it just immediately has that kind of old pubby feel. So you're not going to walk in and be in that warehouse type, brewery world, which is nice and clean lined and all that. But I've always been I build historical homes. So for me, old was awesome. And even when I learned how to brew, it was all about learning the original, right? So learn the original to understand the concept of beer and the process to make the beer. And then venture into the new world that it can be. Because it's just creative, it's an art like anything else. It's just whatever direction your heart wants to go with it, But I will say, for being an entrepreneur, the main thing is to really believe in what you're going to do, have that plan, and somehow try to execute it. And the beauty of it is that you get to make your own rules when you do this stuff, right? And you learn quickly what rules not to follow and what rules that are going to venture and make you better, So I have high standards on myself. So I think that will always make me want, to do better. And we see it all around us,
Yes.
For instance, the workspace.
Yes.
Right? It's a really good environment for a lot of people to give it a go.
And like Second Bridge Brewing, Workspace too is in its, I don't know about infancy. We just rebranded in January. Tonight's actually my year anniversary as the manager here. My name's Stacey Zackin, by the way. I think I said that. And it's been great because we have ideas of what we want to offer, but those ideas are secondary to what the community tells us they need and they like. So we're hoping that you like, I don't know if you need it, but that you like beer and business and that you tell your friends, because it's a free hour, happy hour. You get free food and free food tonight. It's from Market on Main. They're up the street and they were going to come and be part of our panel, but one of the owners is extremely pregnant and extremely uncomfortable, so we gave her the night off. And but they made great sandwich wraps. It's a convenience / grocery / deli up the street, walking like a block and a half. And Second Bridge Brewing is over at the Hilliard Mills with a bunch of other entrepreneurial efforts. I know there's a wedding planner there who I met through an entrepreneurial roundtable I coached here in this space. There's Piano Arts, who donated our brand new piano to the space.
A yoga studio.
And you do an event with a yoga.
We do yoga and brews, which the next one I think is September 14th.
And you do yoga and beer.
I'm assuming you do yoga and then you drink beer?
Yes.
It's not like goat yoga, where the goat and yoga is one. So September 14th, but these are the things that we can promote on social media, and if we just ask anyone who believes believes in what small companies are doing, or if you see an artist and you like their work, just share it, because you never know where it's going to spark and who's going to connect. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to forget, but because one of my big things is I really do appreciate art and people's desire to make it. It's like uncontrollable urges that have to, be released, right? So whether it's
I don't know where this is going, but okay.
For us, we like art all over our walls. So we've just begun to get a few people to get their art in. So all I'm saying is that for Second Bridge, we're there to hang anybody's art they would love to and whatnot, because we're all about local and just that expression of life, really. So, it comes in handy.
Well, we will definitely refer people to you. Workspace has 3 art galleries: the Den Gallery, which is our formal Main Street facing gallery, which can be transformed into events and meeting space as well. We have the Loop Gallery, otherwise known as the Hallway, but we've got people passing through to their offices and to meetings, and having local artists exhibited there really adds to a lot of the space. And then upstairs is Gallery 901. Our address here is 901 903 Main Street. And there we have walls and conference rooms that also showcase local arts. And actually, Chris O'Brien, who's sitting here to my left, TJ Van Artist, her studio is here in-house, and she was happy to look at anybody's art and find appropriate showcases, and hopefully we can source some people for you. And if anybody's watching this live and has time to get down here, in 15 minutes, we're having an artist conversation. We invited all the artists we knew who came into the space and asked them to share the invitation. So we're just gathering artists and saying, what can we do to help you in the areas of showcasing your art, of further developing your skills, maybe with master classes or salons, and then having business classes specifically designed for artists on their entrepreneurial efforts, because most of them are very good about producing and maybe not so good about selling, distributing, and all of that. So we want to be a resource for people. Before we end, I think people might actually be a little bit curious about how beer is made and what goes into it. So what supplies do you need, and what's different from the way you make beer as maybe a larger company we find in the grocery store makes beer?
Yeah. Well, the process of beer is in a way kind of simple, with the idea that you have your water, you have your grains, you have your hops, and you have your yeast. And then the Belgians say there's a fit that anything goes. But it's a process of converting sugars from your grains to then create alcohol. But at the same token, all that different malt that happens is where we get the characters behind our beers.
And what are you drinking there?
This one I actually grabbed a little sample of the Feed the Chickens, so it's just a real easy drinking farmhouse style beer. That, I like it for its, there's a special yeast in it being a Brett, and the Brett yeast kind of automatically brings that flavor. But we did this one with rye, like all rye, so it's got a little kind of malt bite to it, so I kind of enjoy that. But the process in the end really is, it's just grains, so you would have to mash grains and create it steep it, basically like a tea, and then begin to rinse and everything else, and get hops involved. And it's a process, and water matters a lot, which for us, we do not use Manchester water. We have our water brought in from Schofield Springs up in Wilmington, which is just a really good water. It's like cleanest water in Connecticut. So very helpful for us making our beers. A lot of beers we don't even have to adjust the water, which is a challenge for a lot of beers, because specific beers want specific water for the malts to react, for the hops to react to what you're going to make.
So making beer is an art and a science, I suppose.
It is a little bit, yes.
And the last question from me before I ask if anybody else has questions is, where do you come up with your names for your different varieties of beer? After you've had a lot of beer?
Well, the true test would be to, when your beer is complete, to maybe spend the night drinking that beer, and then a name will arise. But that's for fun. But really for us, it's just constantly playing with names. I mean, why not? You know, it's just a wordsmith little game to goof off with. We're Second Bridge, so we do a lot of goofy second things like Rupert the Second, which is a brown ale, and may have been a ghost in Hilliard Mills when we were building it. I don't know, a lot of weird sounds. And then, yeah, other than that, it's just fun. It's just, you know.
Well, if we do another event here, maybe you can like raffle off a prize for someone to name a beer.
We're out for that anytime. Well, you know what? Look, a quick story. Somebody said they didn't like our logo, and they said it looked like a coat hanger. So my new IPA coming out this weekend will be Coat Hanger IPA.
There you go. That's an entrepreneur. We're very resourceful, taking something and making it into something else. Does anybody have any questions about entrepreneurship or beer?
How do you get the different alcohol content, like 6 to 8, 5?
Right. There's
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So he asked, how do we get the alcohol content in the beer, basically? Yes. So with that, there's a water to grain ratio that you're always going to play with. All right, and the specific body of a beer, whether it's light, medium, or heavy, is going to depend on that ratio. And at the same token, the more sugar you can extract from the grains, the higher your alcohol percentage would be. And then it comes down to a boil too, where you can boil, just like reducing something in the kitchen, the longer you boil it, the more alcohol that gets created. And so then we measure it by hydrometer, which is, you know, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know, right, which,
that was in printing, so it was different.
Yeah.
But it still had alcohol.
Right. And a hydrometer tests our wort, our pre-beer, by its specific gravity, right? And that's the sugar. So the sugar floats the hydrometer to the gravity that you're achieving. Yeah.
What's the highest you can get in alcohol for beer?
The highest you can get for alcohol and beer, he asked?
Man, there's people that have been able to create 18%, 20%. I mean, this is pretty. They had a triple Bach, I believe, that achieved 16 or 18%. You know?
But if you keep the alcohol level low, people will buy more.
And quite frankly, that becomes a barley wine.
It's almost like wine.
It is. It's a barley wine when you've really gone that far. Carbonation is basically gone.
Yeah, but it's good.
It's heavier than wine. Yeah, keep you warm in the winter. That's for sure.
So if people want to visit Second Bridge Brewing and sample some for themselves, when should they go and where?
We are the lower end of Hilliard Street in Manchester, 642.
It's a daunting building. Where do they
It
park?
is, but you can't miss our sign. It's right on the building. It's on our green front door, Manchester Green, and the parking lot is all right there. So that it is pretty easy for parking and to know where we're located. You can't miss our sign, and that's on our actual brewery. We're at the basement of that great big.
When are you open and
building.
pouring?
And we are open right now on Fridays 2 to 8, Saturdays 1 to 8. But if you're a English Premier League fan, feel free to come at 10 in the morning because we watch all matches every week at 10 a.m. and then Sunday at 11 a.m. But our hours are 1 to 8 on Saturday and 12 to 5 on Sunday. We'll be doing Thursdays starting the first Thursday of October.
And there's a big beer event in Hartford this weekend. Are you part of that?
We are not part of that. We are too young.
Too young. So there's a lot of breweries. There's over 30 in Connecticut, and as you said, 3, maybe 4 in Manchester.
Over 60.
Over 60 now. So stay tuned for Beer and Business the first Thursday of every month from 5 to 6. It's just an hour. It's going to be a happy hour, so please tell your friends. Use this as a place. If you have a network of people and you think, oh, I should get together with them here. Have free beer, great food that's also free, and then you can enjoy one of our fabulous restaurants on Main Street. Anything else you want to say?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. It was an unknown entity, and you guys answered our call. We appreciate it. Thank you to the staff here at Workspace, and we're open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. are our public hours. Please come and see our gallery, tour our workspace, and if you want to have a meeting, we'll come in earlier and we'll stay later. That's it. Thank you very much. Have a good night and a great weekend.